You're listening to the suitesflow podcast.
Ciao and welcome from Mario and Alessia to a new episode of the suitesflow podcast. The real estate industry is obsessed with location, but the truth is, your physical home is about to become nothing more than a generic neutral box.
That's quite a statement. Today, we're going to explore why maybe the Metaverse idea didn't actually fail, how the next generation is sort of already living in this combined reality, and what that big shift means for, building trust in housing going forward. This whole conversation is inspired by the ideas explored in the suitesflow essays.
Okay, let's start there. That initial reaction, the adult blind spot, you called it. I remember everyone thinking, Zuckerberg's finally lost it, betting everything on that clunky VR stuff. It felt like an expensive joke back then.
Yeah, and honestly, that skepticism was completely fair. If you think back, the problem wasn't really the vision of expanding digitally. It was the delivery. The execution was just flawed, brutally flawed.
It really was physical, wasn't it? The failure. You put the headset on and boom, barrier. It was too heavy, it got hot, made people feel sick. It wasn't expanding reality at all. It felt more like this awkward, sweaty escape from it.
Exactly. It was a classic case of technical people maybe missing the basic human comfort factor.
Yeah.
The tech demanded you disconnect completely from where you actually were, which, maybe works for a quick game, but not for living your life or working or just hanging out. I remember hearing about an 8-year-old who tried it and nailed it, basically said, who wants a toaster glued to their face just to check email?
Yeah, exactly. So the fundamental flaw wasn't the idea of digital worlds.
No, not at all.
It was the delivery system, this need to make digital separate, forcing you through this awful interface.
That's the key point. That's the pivot. The future isn't wearing a scuba mask inside your house. The real change happens when that interface just disappears, when the headset becomes, say, lightweight glasses, then maybe contact lenses, or eventually, something fully integrated. That's when augmented reality stops being this weird novelty.
Yeah.
And actually starts being reality.
And if you look at the younger generation, well, that future isn't some far-off prediction. It's kind of how they already operate, isn't it? We, adults, we grew up thinking real means physical, touchable, a building. But the younger buyer, they don't really draw that same line anymore.
It's fascinating, the whole reframing of what has value. For a lot of younger people, their digital life is their social life, their economic reality sometimes. The things that happen in their pixel worlds, the stakes feel completely real to them.
Think about it. Their avatar, that special Roblox skin, that genuinely matters more than what sneakers they have on their feet. Status comes from followers, digital trophies, not the square footage of their apartment. And those friendships made in online games, the emotions, totally real.
Which completely changes how you think about home. If your identity, your social standing, how you express yourself, if that's mostly happening digitally, then the physical house, its job kind of shrinks. It becomes this minimal, clean, almost empty box.
That idea is, wow. The physical place gives you shelter, power, the internet connection, the basics. But all the meaning, the style, who you are, that gets layered on top through augmented reality.
Exactly. Imagine it. The same plain white room.
Correct.
But with the tech, instantly it's the Louvre.
Right.
Or it's a beach house in Bali, or a glass pod floating over the moon. The walls don't physically change. The experience does. Infinitely.
Okay, but I need to push back a bit here. Doesn't that sound, a little sterile, maybe even dehumanizing? Is that future just for extreme minimalists? What about the rest of us who, like physical things, textures, books? Isn't there a danger that digital layers just become noise, visual clutter? Where's the permanence?
That's a really important question. Permanence starts to shift, you see. It moves from the physical thing to the data that defines the experience. And no, it's definitely not just for minimalists. The physical box still needs to be high quality, comfortable, reliable, solid. But its defining feature becomes its adaptability. It's not about replacing texture, it's about expanding it. You could program your digital layer to feel like aged wood, maybe even smell like rain, enhancing the simple concrete structure you actually own.
So, if the meaning becomes software, then the value of housing isn't just about location or size anymore. The key thing, the new metric, becomes bandwidth, the quality of that digital layer.
Absolutely. You shift from thinking about property as just this fixed asset to seeing it more like software infrastructure. Yeah. Think about your phone. The hardware, the physical house, it's essential, it's generic in a way. But the OS, the apps, that digital layer, That's where 99% of the function of your personal identity comes from. That digital layer is where the real value and probably the ongoing cost will be.
Okay, so this leads us to a really crucial transition, right? If the next generation sees home as basically software running on good hardware, they're going to demand absolute truth and transparency before they buy into that hardware. The old way, the sales center, one perfect show unit, all dressed up, that just doesn't work anymore. It fails immediately.
That gap between what's promised and what's real, that's where trust just evaporates. If this physical box is the foundation for infinite digital experiences, the buyer has to be 100% certain about its quality, its layout, its actual surroundings. So real estate has to move from static selling the dream, to continuous selling based on information, based on trust.
And that's really where suitesflow comes in, laying the groundwork. By digitalizing physical real estate, creating these detailed digital twins, it starts as efficiency, sure, but it ends up being the standard for transparency.
And the absolute core of that is the commitment to each specific unit. You mentioned the sales center, showing off maybe one amazing unit. That unit might represent, what, 5% of the whole building? What about the person buying unit 1403, facing north, next to the noisy ventilation shaft? What do they actually get?
Right. This is where we really break from the past. suitesflow provides these incredibly detailed virtual experiences for every single unit. Doesn't matter if it's built already or just lines on a plan, every single one.
And that level of detail is non-negotiable if you want to build real trust in this new market. It means the real specific layout for that unit, the exact finishes chosen for it, and critically, the authentic verifiable view out of every window, no guesswork. You close that gap between the promise and the delivery.
But let's talk feasibility, because that's a huge claim, unit specific for everything, globally unique, enabling remote buying at scale. What's the actual technical hurdle? Why can't competitors just do this for hundreds, thousands of units right now?
It comes down to managing and, crucially, anchoring a massive amount of data, especially architectural data, which changes constantly during design and construction. Anchoring that against the real-world geospatial information, that's tough. Most competitors build like one nice marketing model and then just copy-paste it with minor tweaks. It looked generic because, well, it is. We don't do that.
Okay, so how do you handle that complexity, that scale? This sounds like where the engine comes in, making the invisible visible.
Exactly. That's VIM, the volumetric information multiplier. VIM is the engine we built specifically to solve this problem of architectural truth, but at massive scale.
Can you explain VIM simply? We hear about BIM building information modeling all the time. What's the unique truth VIM handles that changes the trust game?
All right, so BIM data is often super complex, kind of locked away, not easy for a buyer to access or understand. VIM takes all of it. The architectural plans, the geospatial data, like height, sight lines, even material specs, it collects it, validates it, and anchors it directly to the visual experience. So it's not just making a pretty picture, it's making sure that picture, that virtual tour, is a provable, data-anchored digital twin of the real thing.
Got it. So even if the building isn't physically there yet, VIM makes it feel tangible, makes it feel real. It's connecting the architect's truth with the buyer's experience, making trust visible before anything's built.
Exactly. And then we build tools on top of that VIM foundation to boost confidence even more, like the POI interactive map that helps you understand the whole context, the neighborhood, the sunlight, transport links, everything around the building. And
the AI guidance piece, which is crucial. This isn't just some generic chatbot guessing things. It uses only that real, verified, unit-specific data from VIM to match people with the exact unit that fits their needs, the right layout, the right orientation. It takes the friction out and gives people confidence for what's often, the biggest purchase of their lives.
So when you step back and look at the big picture, the real revolution isn't about escaping reality like those old VR experiments wanted. It's about embracing this new blended reality that's coming. It's about expanding what home means, layering infinite dimensions of design, identity, personality over a simple, reliable physical structure.
And in this new market, the limit isn't really creativity anymore, is it? Because AI can generate endless designs. The real bottleneck becomes imagination speed. How fast can we dream up, design, and then render these new layered realities?
And suitesflow. We're building the foundation for that future. Right now, we're moving beyond just virtual tours. We're creating places that genuinely exist in two worlds at once, the physical world reliable, verified, and the digital world infinitely expansive.
See you in the next episode.
You're listening to the suitesflow podcast.